is Ryan Cameron Center in the studio, Mayor Andre Dickens. You know, out in these streets, they call him 61.
61.
Right.
That ain't the age.
No, not yet.
And why they call him 61?
I am the 61st mayor of the city of Atlanta.
61.
So when they were like, yeah, man, we talking to 61,
I
have another name for him.
Which is?
Pune.
And why they call him Pune?
Bruh.
Oh, no. Why do you call him Pune?
The mayor is the fastest person to go from one stop to another stop to another stop, and he just Pune.
Right. You're right. Yeah.
Listen, we were at the Urban One Honors the other day, and he didn't even have time to shake my hand. He threw up the deuces, and I was like, what? Pew! How do you manage this schedule? You be everywhere.
Right. It's so much so that I had to text you from the car. Hey, send me that picture of me.
Send me that picture of me and Miss Hughes. I'm gone.
I'm gone. Give me that picture. I saw you taking a picture of me and Miss Hughes.
Yeah.
Man, you know, I have so many places that say, can you come see us, Mayor? Can you come to this event? Can you speak at this event? I need you to be here. It's important to us. It's important to my organization.
Right.
Whatever. So I say yes all the time. I'll have like 4 or 5 events a night. And so you have to get in there. And all of them start at 6 or 7
Right.
at 7:30, right? Events. So, you know, I'm either on the front end of it, the middle, or the back end of it. And I'm trying to satisfy everybody's need to make sure that they, know that the mayor cares about their event. And so I get there. So sometimes I have 2 jackets in the car. I have that tuxedo jacket.
Right.
And then I might have a hoodie.
Right.
I just kind of go.
And you got a vest, too, because I saw you doing the count the other day for the homelessness. For people who don't know, because it was on social media, what was that? What were you trying to do? And because I know we've had unbelievably cold temperatures, freezing, and I'm always wondering, like, man, where are people going that don't have anywhere to stay? What was your charge on that?
Yeah, so every major municipality, every major city has to do a count of the people that are unsheltered.
Right.
The unhoused individuals that you see in the woods, under the overpasses or the bridges, and also just walking the streets. You got to count them so that you can go to the federal government and request funds, but also show that you're making progress. And I went out there this time like I used to do as a city council member, but as mayor, I went out there and took a area and did the count. So we walked around and talked to people and asked them, how long you been out on the street, where you come from, when was the last time you employed, were you a veteran, or are you, do you have any kind of symptoms of mental health? And so you talk to them, and you collect this information, and we give them access to housing that night. So shelter, sometimes we give them food or gift cards to get food. And it was crazy to see how many people had been here from other regions. I met a guy from New Orleans. I met a guy from Boston. I met a guy from Kennesaw, which is Metro Atlanta. Some people from DeKalb County. But they find their way to downtown Atlanta because that's where you got resources like shelters. You got the place where you can get your ID back. You can get a Social Security card or, because you need those things to get an apartment. You can't get an apartment without a Social Security number, a Social Security card, a license, or a birth certificate. And these people, when you are transient, living on the streets, your documentation is the last thing you're thinking about. You're just thinking about how to eat and stay warm. So we today announced about $7.7 million to help those that are unhoused. So we're going to open up all of our warming shelters 24 hours in a little bit to be able to help people when it gets cold again. It's not cold today, but it was cold over the weekend on Monday. And we put them in the housing and the shelters, and now we're trying to get them into hotels and then into apartments.
Right.
So we can triage their cases there. If they got mental health challenges, we can help them. If they got drug addiction or alcohol addiction, we can help them. But you can't help people when they're living. It's harder to help folks when they just on the street.
The street. You
got to get them in a stable. They can get a meal. They can get a shower. They can have a bed to lay in. That's when you can start talking to them about, all right, let's take care of some business.
Right. The shipping, aka Pune, the shipping container project. Tell me about it, and is it up and running? What's going to happen where you've taken, 40 shipping containers and converted them into actual living places for people?
Yeah, this is innovation. We are taking shipping containers, which are, they're sturdy, they have insulation, they are nice places, and we've put them into where you got heating and air inside of them, a full bathroom that has a shower, a sink, a toilet, as well as a mini kitchen, a refrigerator, a microwave, and a bed, of course. And these are going to be open on Friday for people to start moving into. We have 40 of them. It only took us 4 months to go from it just being an old vacant parking lot that the city used to use to park cars. Now it has 40 shipping containers containers, plus about 3 or 4 others that have, case managers. One is a laundromat, the other is like a lounge, and there's some green space and a dog park. And this whole thing, it's a community. It's gated so that the individuals feel safe that they're in there. And that's a place where they, in 4 months' time, we went from a vacant parking lot to, on Friday, a place where people can live. We got beds and everything in there to be safe, dry, warm. And that's when we can start talking to them about, hey, all right, what's your next step? What do you have the skills to be able to do? Oh, you used to work in this or that? Well, we can help you get that skill back and get you on your feet again. So then you can pay rent to an apartment and then keep on going. We want this to be not 40 units for people to live in for the next 100 years.
Right.
It's 40 units that you come into it, and then 5-6 months later, you're graduating out of that program and somebody else is coming in that program. So it's not to be
So
static.
these aren't long term.
Yeah, we don't want it to be long term for people to have to, we want them to get there, get safe, get what they need, and then we help them get on to the next step.
Is a plan to do this all around the city? To do how many do you eventually hope to have of places like this? How many different ones?
Well, our goal is to house 500 people really, really quickly, and that's what these type of things can do. So we would need like 8 to 10 of these across the city. Some of them will be motels that are vacant that we're converting into apartment units. So we got one underway. That takes about 9 months. But these shipping containers, we can do these at about 5 or 6 sites. We have some that are downtown, some on the west side, some that's in Midtown, some on the south side that we've identified that we can say, hey, we can stand these up really quick. And here's the thing. The residents already live there. The unsheltered population is living in the woods or they're living under the underpasses. They're already the neighbors of the community. They just happen to be outside or in a tent. So now we're going to give them a safe, dry, and no-cost place to live. And then that way we can help them with their situation. So we want to do this rapidly, and then we can get people off the streets and off from under the bridges that sometimes people have fires, as you've heard.
Ryan Cameron Uncensored, Mayor Andre Dickens is in the studio. We've been talking about why do people keep trying to burn down the bridge, man?
They're just trying to stay warm or feed themselves, and fire get out of control. These individuals, they're under the bridge living, and we want them to come out from under there and go to the shelters or go to the hotels or apartments that we're bringing about, and they're out there cooking or trying to stay warm, and we see a fire get out of hand. And so we have had bridges that have burned down, and we don't want that anymore. So we're giving them a place to stay first,
right,
and then we're going to shut down those bridges with some materials that'll prevent them from going back under there.
So what is the latest with Cop City?
They don't call it that.
We don't call it that. It's the Public Safety
works.
Training Center, which is for firefighters, police officers, EMS, and we're about 70% complete with construction. So we are still moving forward. The community at large supports it, and there's a few people that disagree with the notion.
It's the people that's not from here, though. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody who's been getting arrested or whatever or suspected, they're from Massachusetts. You know, why do you think it's as they would say industry plant? You know what I'm saying? Somebody has planted these people just to disrupt what's going on under your administration?
Yeah, absolutely. They come at this from a political standpoint, and then they listen to folks that feed them bad news or bad information, and then they go out here and they act upon it. They've been burning down construction equipment and police cars and these things. They're very vandalizing and arson, and so now they've been arrested for that kind of stuff, and they're standing trial. We hope that they see the error in the communication that they've been receiving from those people that want to, get them to destroy things, and they start looking at it like, wow, the city of Atlanta has worked very hard at communicating what the benefits of this thing is and how it's going to save lives and how a better trained police force will have less cases of police brutality, but more cases of fighting violent crime like we've been doing this year.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all heard the news.
Stats are down.
Violent crime is down in Atlanta. 21% reduction in homicides last year. The city of Atlanta had the third highest drop in violent crime than any other city in America. So you think about it, how everybody, when you watch social media, it's like, oh man, it's violence. You watch these certain things, all they do is show you people hurting people. But in reality, less people have had violence happen to them this year than the last few years, and including rapes. Rapes are down 50%. That horrible crime is down. And youth-related crime is down. So this is the goal of the Year of the Youth and this group project that y'all have participated in hiring young people and supporting young people. We got gang members off the streets, gang leaders off the streets, and we converted them into people that are going about their business and having great jobs.
Ryan Cameron Uncensored, Mayor Andre Dickens in the studio. We're talking about all the things in the city. Does a mayor make a New Year's resolution? Do you have something like, before 2025, I want to get this accomplished? Now, I'm not talking about the state of the city. I understand that, but I'm saying you personally, like, you know what? I need to take this off of my to-do list because I know that I can if I just put my resources behind it. Have you done anything like that?
Yeah, professionally and citywide is stuff related to affordable housing and crime reduction. That's the big stuff that I'm doing with the city of Atlanta, and the graduation rate, which has greatly improved because we've been focusing on kids. We had 86.6% graduation rate at APS, which is the highest it's ever been. That's because we focus on youth, and I want to continue that. But personally, it's been I'm going to turn 50 in June, Ryan.
Okay.
One time for the 5-0.
One time for the 5-0.
And you don't say 50.
What do you
say? 50.
50.
I'm going to turn 50 in June, and I want to be fine. So I don't know if that's mayor speak for. Is there a way to say that? I want to be like,
you finna get rocked up.
I'm about to work out.
You get swole.
I'm about to get swole. I'm gonna have that V. You know, that big chest and little stomach.
As they say on Make, you about to get built out.
That's right. I'm going to be out here cutting up in June. When my birthday shows up, I want to be fine at 50.
So what's the plan?
Go to the gym every morning.
You have a personal trainer?
I got a personal trainer.
Okay.
I got a personal trainer for the second time in my life.
Yeah.
And this is painful right now, Ryan. I started just like everybody else starts. It was January 2nd. I was there January 2nd and sweating like
on top of everybody else. They all in there trying to. How much is this Planet Fitness membership?
Man,
it's making here.
And he making me do legs. I was like, I ain't come here for that.
Right.
I came here for just upper body.
You know when you try to dunk, you need to do the leg workout.
I need to do the legs too, but that's like today. I was like, man, he got me doing legs. He had me doing those deadlifts. I was like, oh, brother, I came here for chest and arms.
You want to be built like Foghorn Leghorn.
Right. Yeah, he had me doing squats and all that stuff. All that stuff is hard. Yeah. I just wanted to go in there and do bench press and curls and come out.
It ain't going to work like that.
That's
not how it works.
He get my energy up. He got everything. So I go to the gym at 6:30 in the morning. So my resolution is to do it 4 or 5 times a week, some kind of physical fitness, and to eat better. Because I just eat whatever y'all give me at all these banquets and lunches.
You eat everything.
Every all these meetings comes with some
snacks.
They come with spring rolls and chicken wings everywhere I go.
Yeah, that's the basics.
Sweetest meatballs, spring rolls, and chicken wings.
You want to do 4 to 5 times a week.
Man, look, I'm trying to.
As much as you be puning?
Pew. Yeah. So what that means, though, is he's like, you got to eat, because I had to eat right.
Right.
So my goal is to make sure that I'm healthy, honestly, and to,
So you're going to carry like a lunchbox, with stuff in it and smoothies?
Meal prep.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah, I got a meal prep that now, every day I know exactly what I'm eating.
You should use Factor. You ever heard that? Factor is what we use at the house, and you just go out and pick everything that you want. They send it to you fresh by the week, and you don't freeze it, and then you just take it with you, and you pick everything that you want, all your favorites, and then I send it to my son in college in Miami, and we use it at the house. It's not frozen; it's prepared by actual chefs, and then you just put it in your little box, and then you won't end up over at J.R. Cricket's.
I love it.
Yeah, J.R. Cricket's is not in the regiment. Yeah.
Well, chicken wings, and I'm in Atlanta, and I'm not gonna give up all my customs. I will eat chicken wings at least. This is customary. It's like a church on Sunday and wings at least Friday, Saturday, or Sunday.
Friday, Saturday. Okay, we got more with the mayor when we come back. Ryan Cameron Uncensored. I got to bring up something because now that it's out, it was like a secret that we had to keep under wraps. Even the last time you were here, it hadn't been announced yet. But I've done a lot of projects. I've done a lot of things. I got rings and things, but I've never had the response that I've had from this airport project that we did together, man. And when it first was launched, I think somebody was like, "Man, you took the mayor place?" And I was like, No, you still hear the mayor. But all the other announcements are me from, baggage claim and, emergency stuff. And I just wanted to tell you, man, just publicly, man, that I love when, as you quoted and you put on my IG, I love when a plan comes together, man, because it was a long time coming. But, you saw the vision. I just want to say I appreciate you thinking what I was thinking. Like, yeah, we need to make this thing fresh.
Yeah, man. Well, listen, that is a joy to hear your voice in the world's busiest and most efficient airport. Your voice, first of all, that means your voice is distinctive. That every time anybody hears it, they're like, "That's Ryan Cameron," right? That means you've been doing this a long time, and you have a unique voice, and it's a clear voice. And we want Atlanta Airport to reflect Atlantans. You're the voice of the people. You've been doing this a long time, so when it makes you, for an Atlantan, you're at home.
That's what somebody said.
You're at home when you hear Ryan Cameron's voice, you hear the mayor's voice, and you come up the escalator, you see our Olympic girl, and you see the other series of people, the ambassadors of the city. You feel a pride coming home, and you just kind of, to have you on there rounded out that whole sense of pride. And I couldn't think of anybody better to do it than you, man. And your voice is good, telling people to keep their hands on their bags. That's your bag. Keep your hands
on your bag. So what are we doing as far as some other projects? Because when the weather breaks through the homelessness, I know we've been seeing a lot of stuff when we're going to open up all the pools and things of that nature and trying to get the kids to be active. Now that they're off the streets, have you thought about that? Because I know, the mayor's 5K, it's all benefiting that type of stuff. What do you have on your horizon for that, for the youth when the weather breaks?
Yeah, so that's the great thing that we try to do in the city of Atlanta is make sure these kids have fantastic springs and summers and falls, and really year round. But the summer is busy because you got all the parks and recreation activities. We open up the pools, the splash pad. Last summer we made every pool free, and these kids were swimming. They were hanging out, and we had to hire a bunch of lifeguards, which meant kids getting jobs.
Right.
So it was a phenomenal thing. And then we hired 5,000 kids over the summer, teenagers, and paid them an average of $17 an hour.
Okay.
From $15 to $20 an hour for 5,000 young people. They worked at the airport. They worked at the Parks and Rec. They also worked at places like Coca-Cola, at various nonprofits, at churches even. So it was a great summer. We're going to rinse and repeat, do it all over again. And we raised $4 million for scholarships. Every graduate of Atlanta Public Schools last year that applied for the mayor's scholarship got it. We had enough money that every single Atlanta Public School student that graduated that said, "I need a scholarship," they got $2,000 for fall semester and $2,000 for spring semester.
That's amazing.
Can we one time for that? One time.
Yeah.
Come on.
Everybody that applied. Yeah. Now what's going to happen is more people are going to apply, which is great. But this was hundreds of kids that applied saying, "I'm going to college and I need some money," and they got it. We had so much money that we told everybody yes. It wasn't even a question. And some went to local schools like Spelman, Georgia Tech, Morehouse, and then some went to other schools outside of the city. Yeah, so it was great. And so we want to do that over and over and over again and keep kids busy, keep them out of trouble, and make sure they have a great life.
Ryan Cameron Uncensored. Mayor Andre Dickens in the studio.
One time.
The White House. You got a chance to have a sit down with President Biden.
Yeah.
And in the Oval. Did you feel like you was watching Scandal?
Nah.
Man, the Oval Office was an honor to be there last week. Like I'd been in the Oval Office on a tour.
Right. Sticking your head in there.
Yeah, just to kind of see it and talk to it was a group of 10 mayors when we all got elected in 2021. The White House asked us all to come, and I got to see the president, got to see the vice president. But this time it was one-on-one.
Just you and him.
Just he and I. It was a snow day. And he had the fireplace going, and it was kind of like, look at us.
Look at us.
Biden and I.
Cigars on the veranda?
Yeah. And you were like, "We did it, Joe.
Yeah, we did it, Joe." He was like, "You got 10 minutes to explain what you're talking about, Atlanta." But it was good because I went to him and thanked him. I thank the Biden administration for this great relationship that the city of Atlanta has directly with them. Biden loves mayors. He says mayors gets things done.
Right.
And he's hired a lot of mayors. The Department of Transportation is headed by Mayor Pete Buttigieg, who was a mayor, and HUD is ran by Marsha Fudge, which was the mayor of Cleveland, and on and on and on. He's got like 6 or 7 mayors. And so he's like, I give the money, the American Rescue Plan Act dollars, those are Biden's decision. Biden-Harris made a decision to give that money directly to cities. That we did all that stuff we talked about with youth. That's using American Rescue Plan money. All the stuff we've done, a lot of stuff at the airport. And so I showed him this new device that we have at the airport is we are expanding Concourse D. Right. Concourse D is the oldest and the smallest concourse. And so we're going to expand it. We're doing that while the airport is still in operation, while D is still, flights are still coming in and going. We are building out off-site Concourse D in 7 segments, and we have this new building mover that moves 1 mile an hour overnight, and it connects it to the existing airport. Wow. It is innovative new technology to allow this modular construction to take place. I showed Biden that. I showed him the equipment, and he's like, wow, y'all are doing that? And I'm like, it's jobs. It's also innovation. It's technology. It's keeping the world's busiest airport moving, because if we had to shut down Concourse D, that would shut down commercial and passenger traffic across half the United States, because we need all our concourses. Well, we're doing it while it's still operating, but at night we connect it. It is a marvel. And he was like, whoa. So I had to show it to him, and he was like, man, Atlanta's on the move, and that Mayor Dre is awesome. And he didn't say that.
But with the stats that you have, crime being down, incentives for the youth, the homeless, have other mayors come to you and be like, hey, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah. I was just at the U.S. Conference of Mayors, and we were the talk of the mayors' meetings about how we're bringing down violent crime, how we are working with these youth, and, all the other things that we're doing around affordable housing and stuff. And so people are asking us how we're doing what we're doing. Other mayors are like, let's take some notes. And the African American Mayors Association is going to meet in Atlanta this year, which is about 100 mayors are going to be, actually somewhere between 100 and 200 mayors, black mayors are going to be in Atlanta, and we're going to show them around all the things that we're doing, and we're going to talk about these things. It's the 10-year anniversary of the African American Mayors Association, and so this is a way for them to come to Atlanta and see what we're doing, but also best practices. There's some other cities that are doing some awesome things that we're learning from. We're going to share ideas, and so, but yeah, we're doing very well. Atlanta has a bad habit internally of beating ourselves up. We see, one thing happening, and we're like, Atlanta doing all this stuff. We let somebody come from out of town tell us our food is bad. We let somebody, somebody tell us we got crime every day, all the time. By the time you watch the 5 o'clock news, we all dead, and then we come back around, we raised from the dead, and at 6 o'clock they tell us we dead again. We hang out around for a little while till the 11 o'clock news, and we get dead again. We're just dying all the time. But that's not true. We have to embrace the fact that we are a place that people keep moving to for a reason. We're the #1 city to live in, according to Money Magazine and some other things. And so we're doing good, y'all. Let's just keep going.
All right, we're going to wrap it up with Mayor Andre Dickens. When we come back, it's Ryan Cameron Uncensored. Ryan Cameron Uncensored, Mayor Andre Dickens. We talked about helping them with the homelessness. We talked about your White House visit. Violent crime is down. Your day-to-day, you trying to work on your health as you get ready for this 50th birthday.
Yeah.
Where's your vacation? When are you going somewhere?
Well, I don't let them know. I don't let anybody know.
You just sneak out. You just pune out of town?
Yeah. I just start making little things like, hey, don't book anything on that day.
Right.
On that Saturday or that Sunday. Because, I don't.
Is that what happened with the peace drop?
No.
I knew that
I was here.
I knew that. We got to get it. You know how much question we had?
We was booked.
Right.
I couldn't go nowhere. And then they was like, hey, man, that's not happening. That's not happening.
2024 is we'll get it back. But
are you serious?
I'm going to try to, man.
Try to.
We got to figure it out.
Why did it get canceled?
Yeah.
I know the attendance was down. Me and you have talked offline about this. Attendance was down. You're not exactly fond of the location.
Nah. Yeah, it's so part of it, I think the location is a great location for some things, but the peace drop is hard to manage in a tight space like that. We might need to look at another location, but I mean, the people that, Underground Atlanta is doing some fun, moving in the right direction.
Right.
So maybe this year we might go back there, but we got to really look at the whole security plan and all the other stuff. I want to do it. Okay. Trust me that. But when we do it, we got to bring the city out. What happens at the Peach Drop the last dozen years is all visitors. Nobody that lives in Atlanta is talking about, man, can't wait to go downtown for the Peach Drop. Atlanta folks are making all kinds of other plans to go to all these other clubs and parties and, or church. And, it's the folks that's coming here from other cities outside of Atlanta or even outside of this state that say, we're coming to Atlanta to hang out at the Peach Drop and do other things, or the SEC Championship, or what is it, the Peach Bowl. So we got to make it work and make sense for Atlantans to enjoy as well as out-of-towners. And so, I want to, do it right. And so it gives us enough time here to do it right. We did a good job when last time we did it, when we had JD and everybody.
Right.
But we got to get more people out there. I do recognize that even if you don't come physically to it, people enjoy watching it on TV.
That is true.
That is, I'm an honest person. Like, whenever we make a decision and I don't think it was 100% appreciated, I look back at it and say, I do see one element of it that that when we took that away for this year, not the first time it's been taken away, by the way, but we took it away this year. I thought about, like, when I was at a friend's house watching
Ryan Seacrest
instead of Ryan C. And I think that I thought about that, like, man, I'm watching the Apple Drop and I'm not watching the Peach Drop. So a moment of honesty here, I kind of thought about it and said, even if I don't go physically, even if my friends don't go physically downtown, which I wish they would, I wish a bunch of Atlantans would, watching us do us from 11 p.m. to midnight is something I think I regret a little bit.
We appreciate the time, man.
Yeah, man.
As always, I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I think we have. Y'all keep doing y'all thing, informing the people, keeping them informed about what's happening and making sure that they know that they got a mayor that listens. Hey, you can always find me at Andre for Atlanta and the City of Atlanta's webpage is atlantagA.gov. Lots of resources there for folks. And we're hiring. The City of Atlanta is hiring. You can work for the best city in the world with the great administration, and we pay. We actually pay people.
There you go.
With benefits.
We're going to say, Pune on 3. 1, 2, 3. Pune. He's gone.